Jennifer, Vanessa, welcome to my living room. Although I'm in my bedroom right now because my husband needs the kitchen and I don't want the noise. So
Of
anyway,
course.
welcome. Bella
Thank
Magazine.
you. Thanks so much for having us. This is um, an interesting way to be connecting now, I guess.
Yeah.
At least it's human interaction. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
you've been craving it just like I have been. You know, the three of us, we're social butterflies and our
Yeah.
wings have been clipped right now because of this virus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vanessa, you just bought Bella, took over Bella not even a year ago, and
Yeah.
now you have to weather through this insane time right now. How are you managing?
Um, so I have to say it's been really interesting because I actually, like last Friday, we had a team meeting. And one of the things that I really wanted to just reassure everyone that, we're not going out of business, like number one, because everybody's like, oh my God, so many publications are not even printing. Some people have laid off all of these people, yada, yada, yada. One of the things that I can just speak, obviously, from myself and my company is that number one, we've always worked remotely. So this is not new to anyone. All of this that's happening where you have to work from home. I think logistically, what it has allowed us all to do is to find more creative ways to create content. This is all we have right now, which is Zoom. And in a way, people that would tell me, oh, but it's so hard for me to get on video, now have had to overcome that fear or that whatever was holding them back, because we have no choice but to do what is required right now. And, there is a reality that I am facing, as a print publication where, our newsstand positioning is not going to be the same as it was. But I think that we're all feeling that strain. And honestly, like I texted Jennifer this morning, like I woke up with sunshine in my heart. Like, I don't know what it is about me getting used to this current climate, also seeing how hard my team is working to just continue to pull through and move forward. That's all we can do. I can't, buy into the negativity, and I can't allow any of it to bring down, what we've created as a media company and as we've been doing amazing things up to this point. And why should we stop now? It's just a different way of putting content out. We will continue to be in print. Our beauty issue, which is going to be out in May, June, you'll only be able to get that through our website. But I have to tell you, it's going to be, and I say this every issue, it's my favorite issue. The content that we're putting out through that issue itself is going to be so amazing and so in alignment with what's happening in the world today. And that's our response to what's happening, just continue to push forward, continue to put amazing content out there, because what else is there to do? We all have to make this work,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
From the selling perspective, because we're both in that same boat in, trying to get sponsors and advertisers for our respective platforms. How difficult has that been for you?
So it's been an interesting transition, because we had been wanting to get our online marketing, more up and going, because obviously we were very print reliant, and a lot of our clients who can afford the print advertisement, are still on board and are still continuing to support us, which, knock on wood, thank God for that. But there have been a few people that have pulled out and said, at this time, it is very difficult because they've either had to lay off employees or whatnot. One of the things that we have been, again, tasked with and challenged with is finding creative ways to support those brands and those businesses that are coming at us now. And we've had to just renegotiate and speak of, different ways of partnering up, because the reality is, I still have to continue to maintain a business afloat, and I need cash to come in, and that looks like sponsored content. And while it's been harder it's been interesting to see also brands saying yes, because they also understand that this is the way to go right now. There is no other way but digital right now. So, the people that are still are dependent on online sales have said yes to us. And we've increased our international clientele, which is really amazing. Just yesterday, I had someone from Australia reach out to us, which is a beauty brand that wants to, they're seeing a spike in self-care products, that people are definitely taking this time to now do things that they had kind of like in a bucket list or wanted to do for themselves, but are now really able to do so. Because I keep telling you have nothing but time right now. So all those little things that you said you were going to do, get cracking. And we're being approached by that. So it's really exciting to see that in the midst of the chaos. I still think that there are brands that are looking to partner, that are looking to work with you and myself. And we're here, we're here and we're available and we're present. Obviously our traffic, as I'm sure you've seen, has spiked, has tripled, quadrupled. I mean, which is, again, to our advantage. Those numbers are there. And, we're every day continuing to find creative ways to put amazing content out. And my team has delivered. I mean, we've gone from the ridiculous to to experts. But at the same time, we're trying to make the best of all of this, because, laughter is, at the end of the day, one of the best forms of therapy. So we've tried to find the silver lining in all of it.
Yeah. And what's interesting, because you work with so many female entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And, you have to kind of have an entrepreneur mindset.
100%.
So all of my friends that thought like maybe I was a little crazy,
but this is so fascinating that you're saying this, because this is literally the conversation that I've had with multiple people over the past few weeks. Like, this has not fazed me one bit. Like, I'm like, welcome to the club. Like, welcome to what entrepreneurship really looks like. Because, to a certain extent, I'm not going to lie, like, obviously being confined to my house forcefully isn't the healthiest for me at times, because I suffer from depression. Like, I can't be in a place like stuck. And one of the things that would force me to get up and out of bed every day was knowing that I had to go into an office, right? But the peaks and valleys that, as a true entrepreneur, we all know that we experience on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, like, this has not, it hasn't given me this blow where I am like, oh my God, like, we are completely devastated. Like, I've been preparing, I guess, my whole entrepreneurial journey for this moment. And here we are, and we're still managing to stay afloat. It's not to say, obviously we're being mindful of our spending. We're being mindful of, those little extra things that I was going to continue to invest in are on hold. But it's not to say that we've plummeted, because I personally am used to this. People who are, used to the 9 to 5 mindset, I think, are waking up to realizing that there is another way of doing things, and that it is possible to work from home, which I know you have done. I have done it for years with children, and it's just, again, adapting. And one of the things that I'll say about this is, just yesterday I was like because now everybody has time to like read the oblivious comments on Facebook groups that they belong to and never paid attention to before. One of the things that has really shocked me is, and again, I think it's because of my upbringing, as I'm not going to say that I didn't have food to eat, but there were days where we didn't know if we were going to have electricity, or if we were going to, our phone bill was going to be paid. So I come from an upbringing of, financial challenges. And this has not fazed me at all. I see my children who are, privileged and fortunate and blessed to have the things that I didn't have at that age. But they've adapted tremendously well to all of this. You know, like my family, we're homebodies. So we love being home. We've made our home our nest where, you know, there's a room for different types of activities. We have a playroom. We have our living room that has an amazing couch. And if we don't want to get up from it all Saturday, then we don't have to, you know. So again, it's kind of finding the silver lining in all of these moments, because otherwise you will go, you'll go crazy.
Jennifer, how are you handling it?
I'm good. I mean, you know, Vanessa touched on it. I think one of the great things about Bella is that we all are used to working remotely, and we can work efficiently and remotely. I mean, it's a little weird not seeing her, obviously, because, you know, her and I would, you know, be the one yelling at her, get into the city. And
get into the city.
But it's been obviously an adjustment for everybody. But I don't think it stopped us or slowed us down. And I think, you know, we're all really good and you see the team come together, and, you know, we do our virtual meetings, and everyone's trying to stay as positive and connected as possible. But I mean, for us, thank goodness, you know, we are lucky, like Vanessa said, that, you know, we're used to kind of working remotely and getting things done on our own and knowing, you know, when and how to work. So I'm thankful that, you know, we still all have this opportunity and that we are all still working, because so many people aren't. But it's definitely something that the Bella team is very good at.
And I think that, you know, and not to toot our own horn, but yes, I mean, we had an amazing team prior to this. And I am honestly, even like after our meeting last week, I had a moment where I like teared up and I was so just touched by how everyone is just willing to continue to work together, you know, collaborate in different ways, come together as a even more as a family, and just help and support each other. Because again, you know, what else is there to do right now? You want to see the good other than, you know, the dire. Because if you allow the news, you know, obviously I finally like caught up on the news yesterday, because I had been avoiding it all week, and kind of like trying to receive tidbits here and there, because it's depressing. It's depressing to listen to the stats but you know, my husband is an essential business worker. So he's in construction. He goes to work every day in New York, which is considered now the mecca of where this virus is living, right? And literally every morning we hug each other as if he was going to war. And I'm telling, you know, and what I say to him is, please be safe. You know, do what you need to do. But then I'm having him, when he comes home from work, decontaminate before he enters the house, you know, meaning he comes in through the garage, goes through the back room, you know, showers in the back before he comes into the house, because God forbid, you know, he was to get it. But in my head, I'm trying to, you know, appease myself by knowing, you know, he's being safe. But but also I teeter-totter between it's only a matter of time when he gets it and brings it home, you know. But I can't think that way either, because again, we can't live in catastrophic moments. We have to try to look at the good, the positive, the fact that he still has a job, the fact that, you know, because again, so many people don't. So again, you got to try to like weigh out those options, and I would rather see the good and the positive than the negative, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do you think that this tragedy is affecting our industry? How do you think it's changing our industry?
I definitely think that people will finally realize the value of digital marketing, which I think that a lot of people were still kind of dormant in, and not really getting into the groove that, you know, one thing is relying on the other. And when I mean one thing, meaning print, because I believe that it still has its place. You know, people have reached out, like, are you still doing this? 100% I still am. But I think it has given people the finally like the green light to whatever was holding them back from getting on board with media and social media. It's kind of like a do or die moment. They have to, or when this all passes, they will no longer be relevant. from a matter of beauty and fashion, you've seen how the fashion industry has really just changed, diversified it in just what they're producing right now, because it is a call of the times that they are, I see Gap producing scrubs and medical gear. There are backpack companies who are providing, backpacks for first responders, which is what we should all be doing right now. It's a response to what our world needs right now. And I see a lot of, artists just responding with creating some of the most magnificent art pieces that I've seen in a very long time. And I think that that's what a crisis does. It really just kind of brings us to our knees, and it really makes us sensitive to the things that are really important and that matter. And, if we weren't paying attention to those things before, if anything, what I pray is that this does, wake us up in that regard, and really show us the things that really are important, which, as we all know, is family, is human connection, because we're thriving for it now, and we're realizing that, live events still have a place in the world and are necessary to make us connect, to keep us connected, and storytelling, and I'm sure there's going to be content for decades of what this entire experience has done to all of us as a society. I think that, there's going to be so much more to continue to tell, because we will get through this. And I told myself this morning, we're 2 weeks down, it's 2 weeks less than what we had to go through. So, and I heard yesterday on the news, it's another mandated 30 days. I'm like, Lord, help me. Yeah. I'm like, Lord, help me. But, I canceled vacations, I canceled trips, and some of them were pleasure related, others were business related, but I'm looking again to the future of how much more amazing the things that we had planned out will be, because I think people are going to be longing for that, right? And wanting to be together, and they're just going to be all the more special and all the more important, for sure.
No, you know what I can't wait for? Never mind the content that this whole crisis will have generated, but think about the movies that are being written right now.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Being written right now.
Yeah.
Art pieces, the songs being recorded.
Yeah.
There's
I had someone in my network said to me, she was like, so I had been putting off, launching a YouTube channel for years, and now finally I've recorded 8 episodes of that show that I've been telling you that I've been wanting to put out. I know. So this is what this moment in time has done. And I would hope that people, it sucks, but if we every day we wake up and say, this sucks, we're never going to get out of the suck, right? We got to flip the coin and see, okay, what can I do? What is this moment teaching me? What is it giving me time to do right now? Mm-hmm. So, I would hope that we're seeing it in that light.
Yeah. Jennifer, you have anything to add?
No, I think that's funny. I keep telling people, we're literally living through a history lesson, a future history lesson. And kids in class are going to be reading about this. And you're right, there's going to be movies and books. And it's crazy because, you watch those kinds of things and you think like, wow, I can't even imagine what that would be like. And now we're literally in the middle of it. Yeah. And it's just kind of weird. I'm trying to, document how I feel every day. And, I have a journal and just keeping, mental track of everything, because I feel like, and there's been so much. It's not as big of a deal as people are making it. It is a bigger deal than people are making it.
Oh, so, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It definitely is a big deal, especially when it hits home. I have 2 family members who were currently over the weekend diagnosed and are hospitalized because of it. It's devastating and it's scary, but I think, again, my life experiences have led me to this moment where I just take things with a grain of salt and really continue to move forward despite of what is happening. I can't think that, the worst outcome is going to be their outcome. I have to think that, they're in great hands. They are in a bed in a hospital. They're getting what they need to get through this moment. thank God, you know, they're healthy enough that hopefully they'll be able to fight this off. But again, you know, you want to, it's like you were saying, it's Jennifer earlier, like it is surreal, because then you're like, holy crap, this is, you know, a world pandemic. And I, like yesterday I took a drive around my neighborhood. And it's eerie. You can't help but get this eerie feeling, like, you know, the cafe that we would go to every Sunday morning to get breakfast at, like there's literally no one there. And it's like, my God, you know, and at the end of the day, like, I think, like, when is this going to end? That's what I keep thinking, like, you know, and tomorrow in the news, you're going to say, they got the cure. We're all going to wake up from this nightmare and it's going to be fine. But you realize that that's not the case. We got another 30 days to go. It is what it is. We're basically taking steps to keep ourselves from losing our minds within those 30 days. That's what we're doing. Yeah. That's all you can do is control what you can, right? What you can control, you control. What you can't, you got to just take it in strides and just keep moving forward. Despite.
Well, Bella Magazine is helping people watching this keep their heads above water. So please shout out where everyone can find you.
Everyone can go to bellamag.co across all social platforms. And honestly, we have given you something to do basically every day of the week. We have how to, you know, DIY workouts, foods, smoothies that you can make. We're actually working on some cocktails that are coming up from our team. Go on there. You'll find so much to not just do, but laugh about, because right now that's all we can do is just hang on to each other, read amazing content that will inspire us and just, you know, take away from the daily grind a little bit, and realize too, you know, that you were capable of doing more than you thought you could, that you do have the time, right? Because that's another thing that I think we were guilty all of before, saying how busy we were, and we now realize that we really weren't that busy.
Exactly. I'm so sorry that Mom Boss, we were going to collaborate on such a beautiful event together.
Listen, it'll be when it'll be.
It'll be.
And when it happens, it's going to be even more impactful and even more beautiful, because we're all going to want to be together and see each other and tell our war stories, share our COVID-19 war stories, right? Because there are so many, girl. There are so many.
Well, especially with the homeschooling, right? Like having to balance a job. Oh boy, that
girl, you don't know. And the funny thing is, I used to be a teacher. I taught for 13 years. So my kids are fully aware of this. So they take jabs every single day. How did you do this? How you can't even teach your own kids? And I'm like, no, because like I actually can choke you both out. You know what I mean? Like, this is the difference. Like, I can punch you in the face and get away with it. And I'm kidding, people, for anyone listening. I don't do any of that. My point is, it is more frustrating because they're yours, but it is a challenge that, you know, I'm tasked with. So many other parents are tasked with. My hat's off to people who have been doing this their entire lives. I don't know how you do it, because clearly this is why I decided for my kids to go to school, and I have a work because we need that separation. I realize that I'm a better mother because my kids go to school and I go to work, because the moments that I do have them home, I'm actually more present. But it's been a challenge that we've gotten used to, and third weekend we're getting off to a better start than we did 2 weeks ago. And now I got it down. Now I see where the assignments really are, because my oldest tries to get away with not doing all the work. So it's been fun.
Yeah. A lot of parents, and you know, this is hitting home because my sister-in-law is doing this, are getting pets, dogs.
So how funny that you're touching on that. We are publishing, I think today or tomorrow, how our fur babies have gotten us through this. Because honestly, this, if you didn't think, that's Jen, that's for you, go get a dog. If you don't have children, if you don't have a pet, you will go stir crazy. You will get cabin, unless you're doing something like this, every few hours to kind of keep yourself engaged and talking to. But this is also, I think this is interesting. This feeling of not having someone to talk to is how mothers feel when their children are infants. Just so you guys know.
No, I've seen articles. It's like
this is the feeling where you start talking to yourself, and then you're like, oh my God, I'm talking to myself. Oh my God, I'm going crazy. Oh my God, I'm losing my shit. And this is what we go through. So see, we were never crazy. We told you so. This is how it feels. And yeah, I mean, my dog, obviously, I have two dogs. One is older. The other one is he's a rescued pit. They sense that something's off. They sense that, something, and they come and they just lay on you. And honestly, it's the most comforting feeling ever. One of the things I'm most grateful for is that, my pit is a dog that requires activity. So he forces me now to go outside and take the walks that I used to promise him that we were going to take before I had no time or I was too busy for. So, and it's been great. And now he grabs his leash and waits for me by the door. And I'm like, okay, I got it, because he's used to it now. So, and again, it's something that I hope after all of this is over, that we don't lose those little things, and that we remember, these moments like these, because honestly, it's fair to say that we were all very fortunate to be in the position that we were in before this crisis hit. Absolutely. And we're realizing, the things that really matter. That's what we're realizing. And I think that the biggest lesson is in all of this, I think that we have all learned as a world that going back to basics is truly what keeps us all connected as human beings. That's my 2 cents.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, Vanessa, Jennifer, this was so much fun. I could talk.
Thank you.
I feel like everybody that I've talked to today, I can talk to all day. But again, I think it's just because I'm craving that.
Well, I know. And this is what happens to us. Like, we have a scheduled time for our own shows and we go over because it's like, no, don't leave me. Don't go back. Yeah, because once I shut this off, it's back to kids and dogs. I'm screwed. Exactly. It's like, oh. But yes, thank you so much for the time. This is always fun to obviously talk to you and to spread positivity, because we all need it. We need a little bit more of it every day.
We do. All right. Yeah. Take care.
Definitely.
Be healthy.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you guys soon.
You too. Take care. Right. Bye.